Mrs. Wilson Science. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the Can Crush experiment, which is one of my favorite demonstrations to show my students when I was teaching earth science and talking about air pressure. To do this experiment, you'll need a soda can that is empty and cleaned out. You'll then need to put a couple of centimeters of water into the bottom of your soda can. You will need a heat source, which could be, if you're at home, your stove. If you're at school, a hot plate or a Bunsen burner would work well. You'll need something that you can safely handle the hot can with, so some tongs or an oven glove or a heat-proof mitt. And then you will need a container, a shallow container that's filled with water at the bottom, as well as some ice, so you have very cold water there. And it should just be 2 to 3 centimeters deep of water into that container of water that you have. Once you have all of your supplies, what you're going to do is you're going to take your can and with that little bit of water at the bottom, and you're going to heat it over your heat source until that water in there boils and then turns to steam. And what we want to do is boil away all of the water so that the can is completely filled with water vapor. Once that has happened, and you can tell that's happened when you can't really hear any more water moving around in the bottom of the can, and you can see the water vapor moving out, you're going to take your can and carefully handle it with your safety materials, whether that's the tongs or the oven mitt, etc., and quickly and carefully upturn it into your container of ice water. And that is when the incredible science will happen. Let's take a look at a couple of times I've done this with my students in the classroom. So what did you think? Pretty exciting, right? That's why I love this experiment, and you can see how much the students get excited about seeing it. So what do you think is happening here? What's causing the can to be crushed? Now remember, we're using this to show what happens with air pressure, to demonstrate air pressure. So it has something to do with air pressure. But what exactly is happening? Well, remember that can, initially, we had a little bit of water in the bottom. What else was in the can? You might think it was empty, but no. The rest of the can was filled with air. So as we heated the water that was inside the can, and it started to boil and change to water vapor, what happened is the water vapor pushed the air out of the can, so it displaced it out, it took it out, made it move out of the can. And so now what we have in the can is water vapor. Now, gases spread out in all directions and take up a lot of space. And we take our can off of our heat source and put it into that cold ice water. What causes that water vapor to do is very quickly change back into liquid water. Now, liquid water takes up less space than a gas does. So now there's all this empty space in the can. And well, we can't have empty space. So what happens? Now that air on the outside, there's more on the outside than the inside. So it pushes in and causes the can to collapse. Pretty cool, right? Well, I hope you have a chance to try this either in your classroom or at home and share and tell me how it went. Thank you.